Most cat owners believe something very simple. They think their cat sees them as a human, a person, an owner, maybe a caregiver, maybe a best friend. But that is not actually how your cat experiences you. Cats do know you are not another cat. They are not confused about that. They can see the difference. They can smell the difference. They can hear the difference. They know you are bigger, louder, stranger, and capable of things no cat can do. But here is where it gets fascinating. Even though your cat knows you are not a cat, they also do not place you neatly into a human category the way humans would. Your cat is not sitting there thinking, "This is my human roommate named David who works from home and likes coffee." Cats do not organize relationships that way. They organize them through safety, routine, scent, territory, body language, and emotional predictability. So when your cat looks at you, they are not seeing a human in the emotional sense. They are seeing something much more layered, a giant safe creature, a source of comfort, a provider, a social partner, a territory mate, sometimes even a slightly incompetent hunter who clearly needs supervision. And once you understand that, so many strange things your cat does start making a lot more sense. Because the truth is, your cat's idea of you is both stranger and more meaningful than most owners ever realize. 1. Your cat sees you as part of their territory, but not in the way you think. Humans hear the word territory and imagine possession, control, ownership. But in a cat's world, territory is much deeper than that. Territory is safety, familiarity, predictability. It is the emotional map of what belongs in their life and what does not. And when your cat accepts you into that map, something important happens. You stop being just a moving object in the house. You become part of the structure of their world. That means your cat does not simply see you as a person passing through the environment. They see you as part of the environment itself, a living, moving piece of home. That is why cats often follow routines around their humans so closely. They know when you usually wake up, when you feed them, where you sit, what room you spend the most time in, when the energy in the house changes, and even what your footsteps sound like in different moods. You are not just someone they happen to live with. You are one of the main landmarks in their emotional geography. In other words, your cat does not just love your home. If the bond is strong enough, your cat experiences you as part of home. 2. Your cat may see you as a giant, safe, cat-like being. This is where people often get confused. No, your cat does not literally think you are a cat. They know you do not smell like one, move like one, or sound like one. But that does not mean they do not interact with you through feline social rules. In fact, they often do exactly that. Think about the way your cat rubs their face against you, the way they slow blink at you, the way they greet you with an upright tail, the way they sleep pressed against you, the way they lick you, knead on you, or gently headbutt your face. Those are not human behaviors, those are cat social behaviors. Your cat is using feline bonding language on you because, in their mind, you may not be a cat, but you are close enough to be treated like an accepted social being within their emotional system. It is almost as if your cat has created a special category just for you. Not cat, not prey, not threat, not stranger. Something like, trusted giant creature who belongs to my world and understands enough of my language to matter. That is why cats can seem so deeply affectionate while still remaining distinctly cat-like. They are not turning into little furry humans, they are inviting you into their social universe. 3. Your cat may see you as a parent figure, especially when they are deeply bonded to you. This part surprises many people, but it explains a lot. Studies on cat attachment suggest that many cats form bonds with their caregivers that resemble secure attachment patterns. In plain language, that means your cat may relate to you in a way that overlaps with how a young animal relates to a protective figure. Not because they think you gave birth to them, of course, but because you serve some of the same emotional functions. You provide food, safety, routine, comfort, shelter, regulation. When your cat is frightened, overstimulated, sick, or uncertain, They often move closer to the human they trust most. That is not random. It means your presence helps them feel more stable. Watch what cats do when they are scared by a sound, a stranger, a vacuum, or a change in the environment. Many of them either run to a known safe space or toward the person they trust most. That is attachment in action. So while your cat does not see you as mom or dad in the human sense, they may absolutely experience you as a protective anchor, a being whose presence changes whether the world feels manageable or not. And in the feline mind, that role is incredibly important. 4. Your cat also sees you as a provider of resources, but not just food. Yes, your cat knows you are the one who opens the food container. They know you control the treats, the water, the bed, the warm blanket, the door, the toys, and often the schedule of the entire household. But the really interesting part is that cats do not reduce relationships to food alone, at least not when a real bond exists. If food were the only thing that mattered, your cat would treat every feeder the same. But they do not. They form preferences. They choose favorites. They follow one person more than another. They sleep next to one person and ignore someone else who also gives them food. Why? Because to a cat, resource provision is part of trust, not the whole thing. You are not just the food dispenser, you are the predictable source of important things: warmth, access, protection, emotional stability. This is why cats can become very attached to the person who plays with them, speaks softly to them, respects their boundaries, and creates a consistent sense of safety even if someone else also feeds them. In other words, your cat is tracking what you bring into their life on multiple levels, and that changes how they see you. 5. Your cat may think you are unbelievably clumsy, but still lovable. This is one of the funniest parts of cat psychology. If you look at the world from a cat's perspective, humans are gigantic, noisy, awkward creatures who crash around the house, close doors for no clear reason, drop things, vacuum the floor, and somehow fail to catch even the slowest moving prey. We do not move with feline grace. We stomp. We bump into furniture. We shift suddenly in bed. We make huge gestures with our arms. To a cat, our bodies probably look hilariously inefficient. And yet, despite all that, bonded cats stay close to us. They sit on us. They sleep with us. They groom us. They bring us toys and sometimes dead animals, as if trying to help us improve. That part is not a joke. Some behaviorists believe that when cats bring prey to their humans, part of the behavior may reflect teaching or sharing instincts. In a sense, your cat may see you as a socially important but physically unimpressive creature, big enough to provide safety and resources, but clearly not very gifted when it comes to basic cat skills, which makes their affection even more interesting. Because your cat does not love you for being cat-like. They love you while fully aware that you are not. 6. Your cat sees your emotional state more clearly than you think. Humans often assume animals only notice the obvious: loud sounds, fast movements, open food. But cats are surprisingly good at reading subtle patterns. They notice changes in your breathing, voice, posture, routine, scent, and energy. They know when you walk normally and when you walk differently. They know when you are restless in bed. They know when your voice has tension in it. They know when something feels off. That does not mean your cat understands your life story or the reason your day went badly, but it does mean they build an internal picture of your normal state, and they notice when you drift from it. So what are you to your cat in those moments? Not just a human, not just a body moving through the room. You are an emotional climate, a signal source, a living pattern they have learned deeply over time. That is why some cats get more affectionate when their person is sick, sad, or anxious. Why some stay closer. Why some stare more intensely. Why some sleep on the chest, sit nearby, or check in repeatedly. Your cat may not label your feelings the way humans do, but they absolutely respond to shifts in who you are from moment to moment. That makes you more than an owner in their eyes. You are a central force in the emotional atmosphere of their world. 7. Your cat sees you as someone worth communicating with. This may sound obvious, but it is actually huge. Cats do not communicate the same way with everyone. A bonded cat develops specific sounds, behaviors, and routines for specific humans. Some cats barely vocalize at all around strangers, then become incredibly expressive with the person they trust. They chirp, trill, meow, tap, stare, lead, wait, and repeat tiny rituals that seem designed for one particular person. That means your cat is not just reacting to you, they are building a communication system with you, a shared language, and animals do not do that carelessly. They do it when the relationship matters. In your cat's mind, you are something far more important and far more layered. You are part of their territory, part of their routine, part of their emotional regulation, part of their safety, a source of resources, yes, but also a source of stability, a strange, oversized social companion who somehow belongs in their world so completely that your absence changes the emotional shape of the day. Your cat knows you are not a cat, but they may still treat you through feline social rules because that is the deepest relational language they have. They headbutt you, slow blink at you, sleep on you, groom you, follow you, and check on you not because they are confused about your species, but because they have chosen to pull you into their emotional universe. And honestly, that may be even more meaningful than if they saw you as simply human. Because humans think in labels. Cats think in safety, repetition, comfort, trust, and closeness. So, if your cat has chosen you, what they feel toward you is not filtered through abstract words. It is built through instinct, through body memory, through the quiet certainty that your presence means something good. And that is why understanding your cat changes everything. Once you realize they are not ignoring you, not being random, not living beside you accidentally, but constantly placing you inside their map of what feels safe and known, their behavior starts to feel less mysterious and more intimate. Your cat may never look at you and think, "That is a human, just like me," but they may look at you and think something far more powerful. That is my being, my safe giant, my familiar presence, my home with a heartbeat. And in the feline world, that may be one of the deepest forms of love there is.